Do I have sharing permission?
You should.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. The prosecution always know because I'm sorry. I see. Give me a minute, guys. It's there. Just trying to pull it up from where I am. There we go. I think this is it. Let's find out. Okay, guys, can you see my form? I mean, my screen.
Week 1 discussion.
Okay, so that was good. Let's pull up. Okay. Guys, can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Oh, wow. What is going on? Okay. Presentation. This is it. I don't know why now.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Okay. So we talked about when I think I mentioned I was yes, one of my hobbies is watching football, distress, a lot of stuff's going on. But one of my major hobbies and skills is quilting. And I have learned to implement this into, because I have a profit to implement this into, what I'm trying to do in helping, which I think a whole lot about, now that we're learning about ABA. But I would like to use quilting, as you see, using block t-shirt quilting to teach students that are struggling with anger, social emotional skills, through a very simple 9-piece block t-shirt quilt. And what is it? And I'm not really good with reading all of my stuff because you guys can see it on the screen, but just basically it's a very creative and engaging way of helping students to be in control or to handle their anger, another outlet for them. It's sort of like the horse therapy in a sense, where you go out and you're relaxing, you see the animals. But I think of quilting like that because it has relaxed me and helped me when I was really going through my serious depressive state. And this is what helped keep me calm. So this is why I think this will be really important in that it can help with social skills, anxiety, you name it, it could really help with that. Setting the stage, I'm sorry, I should have wrote that down. You set the stage when you're in a room that's very relaxed. You have really nice easygoing music. And if you're lucky enough to have a huge screen where I am, I put on the fireplace music. So, and they can see the fireplace. So it helps just put you in another mindset. So, and I would usually ask the question before, how is everybody feeling? And then, and then they know what goes on in this quilting session stays in this quilting session. We're going to just stitch all of that craziness away and put back the good stuff into this. So easy listen music, nice aromatherapy that's going on. It just helps relax. And then I speak in a different tone. I speak very softly and with the things that we're doing. And I notice that people, adults and the like, they really like that because it's just like, wow, okay, this is really sultry. And then we talk about things, like how are we feeling? What has happened? Why are you upset? Why were you upset? Because it doesn't seem like you're upset anymore. And this sort of thing. So I asked everyone to bring a quilt. If you have one, if you don't feel bad. So we're going to look at that now. Can someone show me their quilt? Who has a quilt?
I don't have one where I am. Go, Christina.
Okay. Yay! Christina gets 10 points.
I'm knocking over a bunch of glasses. I think it's a fleece, but it has like blocks like a quilt. So
okay. And I'm looking at your colors. Do I see peach and black and gray? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, it's like peach, black, gray, kind of orangey
Okay,
brown. It's like
okay.
two-sided, so you put one side darker than the other. So
Nice, nice.
yeah.
Now that's a quilt because I can't, see the texture. Not a blanket, but actual quilt, correct?
No, it's a fleece blanket, but it's meant to look like a quilt design.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough, because I
My big
have
one's
some
on
that
my
we're gonna
bed. I was
show.
like, I'm not gonna lay it on my bed.
Thank you for participating. I appreciate that. Does anyone else have one that they wanted to show? If not, it's okay because we're gonna look at some. So I just wanted to, offer that out. So when we look at those, we're gonna be looking for colors. Like I saw your colors in that. When you're looking at that fleece or that blanket that you have, what do you think about? What does it do for you? Does it do anything for you? Because it's okay if it doesn't.
That was actually a gift from one of my friends, and it always reminds me of my friends and like the time we got it and the season we got it and like what was going on and the conversation and the day it happened. So it has a lot of like sentimental emotions attached to it in that sense too. So even just seeing those colors together now in other settings pulls me back to this one simple quilt.
I love that. That is an awesome response, because when we pull this all together, that is exactly what this program will do, that I'm doing, how you feel with that. So I'm sure if you're having a bad day, if you look at that or grab it, you have good thoughts that are coming through your head, correct? Exactly. I love that. Oh, thank you so much for sharing. Could not have written that better. I love it. Okay. Does the quilt make you,
Barbara, I'd
how does
like
it
to
make you?
share mine.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Hold
Oh,
on. Slow
It's
down.
kind
I
of
hold
big,
on.
think,
so you might not be
is
able to
that,
see it.
is that your dog?
Yes, it's Raider.
Okay. See, I saw that. Okay. And it looks like
Mhm.
you had that made. Dr. Shields, is it an actual quilt or is it a blanket?
It's a blanket, but it's made with different images, the pictures. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I love that. See, now that is extremely personable because you have to provide the pictures for that. Is that correct?
Yes.
So yeah, so that's like super meaningful because you already have something in mind, what you wanted that for. And if I'm not mistaken, because I know Dr. Shield pretty good, that was Raider, the dog that you lost. Yes. So that is wonderful. If you just want to remember and you hold it and you just look at it, and it's like, wow, I remember when Raider did this, when Raider did that. And now you have Chance, and it's like, okay, Chance, I love you too. It's just little things that go through our head. But when you think about people that are going through stuff, they may not be thinking like we're thinking right now. But we're teaching a lot of different elements at one time. So let's go on. Step 1, introduction and discussion. These are 4 of the quilts I have done. Starting by introducing the quilt, the project, discussing the emotions associated with everything. As you can see, the one that's at the top with the dog, if you can zoom in, or if you can really see, that is a pattern on the side. It's tie-dye, but it has paws in it.
Oh, how cute.
As if the dog walked on the quilt. And that's why I made that again, going through a lot of stuff when I'm creative, that just makes sense to me. So when I meet someone that really likes dogs, that are having a really hard time, there's a gift. Then the next one is really the first quilt that I did to help teach someone how to do it. So it doesn't have a t-shirt in it. The dog is a t-shirt that I cut from an old t-shirt. And that goes back again, using something old, something that's been discarded. And guess what that has done? It's made something beautiful, something that you can put on you, something that makes you feel good. The purple, that one's confidence in self, as I see myself. I can't even say confidence in self and selfie. Again, for a little girl that is just feeling like she doesn't have confidence in herself and her self-esteem is low, would you think that would make her feel? Something that's given to her. The Superman quilt with the lions, and we know the lions are part of the jungle, the kings of the jungle. Then you've got Superman on top of that. Oh, we are not going to have a bad day next week, because we got this quilt and we know Come on now, we just did this. We are the lion. We're feeling good. But now, but this is just from me when I give it. But imagine when I have all these pieces, and the kids or adults have to go and pick so they can put this together. It's their story. But this is my story that if I see someone that this fits in, wow, what does that do for me? And I've done that many, many times. Step 2, creating templates. As you can see, one of my students that I was teaching, that's what she's doing. That's what I had you guys do, the 9 block. So you're designing what it is, where you want to place your pieces, and she's thinking, she's feeling, okay, I'm thinking I wanted to do this on this corner, but we'll see later that she decided to do something different. But she's thinking, and we're having these conversations where, and actually she's an adult. So we're having conversations about her boyfriend and different people like that while she's quilting, and her mind just relaxes. Oh, Miss Barbara, I can do this every Friday. I said, well, not every Friday because you're still young. I can do this every Friday, but you can't do this every Friday. So and that's just what we have here. And our next step, I'm sorry. Fabric selection. As you can see, I have, and that's just a small part of all the fabrics that I have. So, and I've been collecting because, I want to take this someplace different. But now that I'm working with ABA, my mind is going in so many other directions, what I can do with this. So these are all the different fabrics that I would take and I would lay out, and they would be pre-cut because it depends on what kind of time frame we have with the class or how many weeks I have to do this. Sometimes I have to come with things already pre-cut, but they can make their selections from different things. And that's what we're going to do later. But this is what you pick. It's whatever your heart desires, what your story, you're going to make your story that is around the t-shirt, either that you brought with you, or that I have different type of t-shirts with different sayings and different things that you pick, and you make a story from what you are given. And that works. Then cutting the fabric. As you can see, there I am, Friday night. That's what I do. And you have a pre-cut board for the size of the square that you want to use, and you cut all of your pieces the same size. So again, this is very elementary. I've done all different type of quilts, but for teaching purposes and for what we're doing this for, this is why we're doing this. And these are our motor skills, and it helps with concentration. This whole quilting process, it is concentration, but you can also talk, and you're just soaking in, just pretty much the aroma that's in the room. And people are talking about things. So there's a disclaimer at the front, so they're talking and sharing. We're all listening because we're all in this together. I pretty much do with groups of, if you have groups that are dealing with incest, you have groups that are dealing with just major anger, students have been kicked out of school, whatever, you grouping this together or doing it individually. Even when I've just done it one-on-one, the things that we talk about that you can just purge out, you're getting those things out, and you're putting love into what it is that you're doing for yourself. Okay. I'm trying not to talk a lot, guys, because I only have 15 minutes. Oh, hold on. Let's get one. Okay. Organization. No. I skipped 5. Selecting the t-shirts for self-expression. Bunch of t-shirts, if they're given or what I bring, I just pulled out a couple of things that I had so you guys could see what you can do with that. Little kid that loves Thomas the Train. Oh my. And I have Thomas the Train patterns that also go with that, or whatever it is, or you're feeling like a superhero. So Spider-Man, you like, Prince. I love Prince. So, you put Prince wherever you want to put him, and I'm a teacher, just whatever you have. So I just wanted to give an example of this is the type of thing that we will use. And this just fosters, again, patience, creativity, and perseverance, because you really have to stop and think, okay, then, because I'm going to ask, why did you pick that? Because you're going to be telling a story. Then there's journaling after this. Any questions so far? Okay, let's go to our next one. organizing the pieces. As I can show you what she was doing, then when she finally did it, that's how it looks. She has the princess that's in the middle, just laying it out, because you get a full idea of what it is that you want it to look like before you do it. And then we dive into putting it together. Assembling the quilt. Again, this is assembling. Block fosters patience and perseverance, because you're going to have to sew, all these pieces together and then sew the rows together, so that it's just a whole process. And we're talking, but you're seeing this come together, and this is your work product. This is what you wanted. So when you're looking at these pieces, what are they saying to you? So I'm asking these questions. What is this saying to you? Do you still feel like this is the choice that you wanted? That's good. And most of the people say yes, like, wow, I didn't realize it was going to come together this way. But you're sewing it together. How you're feeling, you're sewing some goodness into, no, I don't want to be angry anymore. Why don't you want to be angry? Because I don't need to be angry. Look at what I'm doing. So then we go to, oops, oh Lord, hold on. Okay. Our reflection. And this is the really good part. After completing this, we have a discussion asking the students or the adults, the thoughts on the whole process, how it's making you feel emotionally. How did you feel before you came in here? How do you feel now? And there's always a change. I have not once heard anyone say, I'm still mad. They will jokingly say, I'm still mad, but I don't care. And then they will smile. So that's okay, because you're still being honest with however you're getting out. Then I would ask questions. How do you feel while you're quilting? Were you relaxed? Did you feel anxious, mad, or sad? And then I would ask, okay, explain how. Tell us, what does that look like? And then displaying and sharing. That is crucial. And this is a quilt that I did for someone, and I took it to school because I was showing my principal at the time, because we were trying to get a program to do. And I said, but don't worry, they're not going to do anything this in depth. But you display that so people can see in awe. And even the people that are working is, oh my God, that's great how you did this. Oh, I like how you did this. Then we're communicating together. You're showing emotion. You're giving feedback. You're getting feedback. You're feeling good. You're making someone else feel good. And the most important thing, you're being social and you're communicating, because you're excited and you see what everybody else has done. Then our follow-up, and I talked about journaling, because that's important. So we need to write and talk about this. How are you feeling during this whole process? And then, how are you feeling before? And, then they talk about, how they're going to implement this into, moving forward. And if it didn't do as much as you wanted to, I want to know about that. I need to know, how are you feeling about this? Do you need to do another one? Whatever you're feeling, and this is how I get feedback from this. So, this provides a tangible reminder of their ability to transform the negative emotions into something positive and construction. So look what I've done when I wasn't mad. Woo! Maybe I should not be mad, because I can really do some good stuff here. So now, who would you like to make a quilt for? You or someone else? Somebody wants to share? The one we're going to do tonight, do you want to make it for yourself or for someone else?
I'll make one for someone else.
Okay. And why?
First grandchild, and I think that'll be a great gift.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that. Thank you, Dr. Shield. Anyone else wants to share?
I'll make one for someone else, because my daughter's buying her first house this week.
I love that. Okay. I wish we were all in the same place, because we would do one and then talk about ABA stuff. And
Yes.
then what type of quilt would you like to make? And you guys have already answered that, and why? Your daughter, new house, Dr. Shields, the grandbaby. See, when you have a purpose, so you're mad, something is not going right, whatever's going on. But now, I'm making this for my grandbaby. I'm making this for my daughter because she's got a new house. How proud you are, and what you're doing, you're leaving the things that you're dealing with because you're doing something for someone else. You're paying it forward. You're making something, and you're doing good for yourself, but you're also making it for someone else. And don't we feel better when we're able to give a hug and a smile to someone else? Then that in turn makes us feel good. And this is why I like to do this, guys. So you guys have your squares. And I know with my times, I'm trying to go pretty fast. I've showed you what I have done. When you looked at the quilt pictures, I didn't put one here, but let's do one of these. When I decided to put the dog in the middle and I put my colors or the smiley face or not doing any at all, you can do whatever you want. You have 9. So from this, I need you guys you're going to look at this sheet and you're going to design one on this. I've already done one, and I hate now that I'm looking at, I don't think you guys can see it very well.
No, not really.
But let's see if I'm smart as a 5th grader, because I should be able to come over and that's not it. And have a blank screen. So let me stop sharing. I should have the whiteboard. Hello. Okay, see, y'all don't count me out just yet. I just remembered this from COVID. Okay. I can't get the whiteboard up. So do I have to share and then pull up the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Yep. See it. There we go. Okay.
Did you click on it though? There you go.
Yep,
It's
I
coming.
clicked on it. Okay, so here is my whiteboard. Okay, y'all, my lines may not be all that great. Okay, forgive me, forgive me. I should have did it the other way, but yeah, I'm sorry. How about, can we erase?
Yeah, hit the eraser and click on that middle line.
Bingo, there we go.
Oh,
Okay,
there.
there we go. So let's do this. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry.
It's
Whoa,
beautiful.
all
It's
right.
beautiful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So in the middle, I have, how can I write? Let's see, without, is this writing? There we go. I think. No, that's not it, but. Always. Bet. Oh, Lord, guys, forgive me. Bet. That's an A. That's a T. On. This is what my t-shirt would say. And actually it says in one that I showed you. And this is a L O V E. So my saying in my t-shirt that I have, you guys saw that, Green Bay t-shirt, I'm going to cut that out. I bought that to cut that out. Always bet on love. And then I'm going to do zebra print here. Zebra print. Zebra print. And on here, I'm going to use solid green because green-based colors are green and yellow. And with what we're choosing from, I think this will look nice with the zebra and green. So that is my design. So let's go back. So I think I'm going to lose this. I hate it, but I need to be able to go back to where we were. Yeah, and here we are. So why did I keep doing that? Okay. So now you have your t-shirt that you're going to use. You can choose a solid color, multiple color. That's the one that's at the top. This one. zebra print, wavy print, and tie-dye paw print. So I want everyone to make one themselves on their page.
Barbara, while they're working on that, I am going to stop your sharing
Okay.
and I'm going to bring up, I think this is it, the agenda for tonight, because while you guys are working, I want to go ahead and start giving Barbara some feedback. So if you have a question for her, great. If not, let's go through her CARES form. Keep working because I want to see what you guys come up with. But for time's
I
sake, I
know, me
want to
too.
keep moving through this. So Christina, can you congratulate Barbara for something she did well?
Yes, I had a couple things. I wrote, it's engaging topic, differs from regular ABA presentations, which I really like that. I said it really sets the mood and environment around the process of quiet making a quilt as an SEL ABA tool, and love the quilt sharing activity. It really warmed us up to discussion and builds a connection to the topic as the audience.
Yes, I would agree.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you.
Patty, can you ask a clarifying question?
Well, I would like to also congratulate her. Thank you, Barbara, for bringing some positive energy and doing something a little different. I can see that being used. But clarifying question, I know you said t-shirt quilts, but can individuals, or can it just be used for students in general, like those life skill students who might not have anger issues or any type of other problems, but they just need something to do? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's good for just a wonderful activity. But my thinking just around this, there's so much anger in the schools right now. There's so much that is going on. Let's do something that's going to help keep them busy and teach them, and then teach them how to calm themselves. So even if I have kits that they can take home. You feeling upset about something? Go quilt. Don't crochet. We're going to quilt. And it's just different. It's just different. But thank you. That was a good question. Thank you, Dr. Shields.
I love that. And then Lindsay, can you either give a suggestion? Yeah, I think that's what this is. Give a suggestion that could have been I don't know, suggestion for anything. Sorry, you guys. Brain's tired. I'm still on the East Coast and not quite adjusted to the time change.
So what would you do if you would you present it the same way if you had a classroom full of boys as you would girls? And how do you kind of get the same buy-in? Because I can see like some girls kind of, maybe reluctant at first, but eventually being like, okay, whatever. But I can see the guys being a little more resistant. Oh, this is stupid. This is for what women do. And but I think it's awesome. And I also think as far as like a congratulatory, I mean, this is great pairing for like older kids, and to get them talking about things that they like and things that, their emotions and things this is great because you're really going to be able to pair with them and like really understand where they're coming from. So, but that's my only comment. That, and have you ever had a perfectionist student that you've been working with? One that it doesn't matter how great it turns out or how awesome that it ends up being, that they are just really down on themselves, that it's just not perfect enough. And then how do you address that?
I love that. Yes. First of all, I am that perfectionist, and I have learned in quilting and going back and talking to my mom about this. There's no room for perfection in quilting, because it could be a little crooked that this line is, but when we fold it, we're going to put it down. No one will see it. And that's the best part it doesn't have to be perfect because it's your quilt. And that's part of life. Life is not going to be perfect. That gives me that opportunity to talk about that. Nothing is perfect in this world, and it is okay. But now, if you want to take your stitches out, my daughter, who's a perfectionist, she took hers apart 2 times. So finally I said, you know what, Anthony, no one else would have seen that. That's in the back. It's going to be covered. It is absolutely okay. So she had to work through that, but that really helped her. I didn't say anything, but she's like, Mom, you know, you're right. It really doesn't matter. I said, no, it doesn't. And that's one of the reasons, that's something that I have to on with doing this too, and letting them know nothing is perfect. It is okay. It is okay. We still keep moving because it's your work product. It's how you're feeling. So that there's nothing bad about that. Great question. And about the boys.
Wait, hold on, Barbara. I'm going to
just-
pause you for time's sake so we can get through the rest
Oh, I'm
of
sorry.
this.
Okay.
No, great
okay.
questions. If you want to respond in a
Okay.
comment off to the side
Yes.
here later,
Okay.
please do. But Christina,
Okay.
can you request something more, something additional that wasn't presented?
Hold on, let me pull it up. I was asking if one of the things I asked is there a template or like instructions for practitioners to use, or is there like a quilt template for like shapes or designs that's accessible they can print out for beginner quilters, someone who like wants to engage with their students, or something that's like, hey, we can offer this at least. That was something I thought would maybe be helpful, just continuation.
Wow, that is a very good question. And I think that goes into me having to consider, because I was brought up a couple years ago about how do I'm going to market this to people if they want to buy this. And yes,
Yeah.
I do have a template, and I do have direct step by step. That's perfectionist. If someone had to do this, and that also goes back to ABA. If you have to redo what I'm doing, this is how you can do it.
Yeah.
Yes, and Barbara, the chat, Lindsay just asked, how are they sewing this together? And I think you had mentioned basic sewing skills. Is that sewing machine or hand sewing?
No, we're hand sewing. We're hand sewing.
Oh, wow.
And then
Because
you also
that's
mentioned glue, right? Sewing glue if need be.
if
Or
need
just-
be, absolutely. There is
Okay.
glue that you can use instead of doing that. So if you have those students like Dr. Shields was asking, the life skill kids that you that their motor skills are not that good, then we've got glue. Take a ruler, make a line, and you just want to put your glue right down there in that line, and we're gonna press it down, and we got a stitch.
Awesome. Love that. And then Patty, evaluate. Did Barbara do what she said she was going to do?
Yes, she did, but she said she was going to do it and did a lot more. Thank you, Barbara, for that. It's
I
very
thought it
interesting.
was great. And then Lindsay, give us a summary or your takeaway.
My summary is that t-shirt quilting can be beneficial for emotional regulation and a great pairing tool.
Thank you.
Yay, Barbara. Nice job.
Thank you, guys. I really
Wow,
needed that.
that was fantastic. How do I